see what happens when they get back to the House.
Do we have
stage a protest.
That was the highlight.
Other members joined in. The result is that the vote was not declared and the bill has not yet been read a first time. At the end of the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi Bill, Hana-Rawhiti Maipi-Clarke misused the voting procedure to stage a protest.
Good girl.
Other members joined in. The result is that the vote was not declared and the bill has not yet been read a first time. I'll proceed to that shortly. Firstly, the matter of misconduct, appallingly disrespectful conduct inside the House. Premeditated actions to disrupt the House by one of its members is grossly disorderly. And I name Hana-Rawhiti Maipi-Clarke. Therefore, the question is that Hana-Rawhiti Maipi-Clarke be suspended from the service of the House. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those for that opinion will say aye. Aye. The contrary, no. Aye. The ayes have it. Party vote is called for.
49 votes in favour.
34 votes against.
15 votes opposed.
11 votes in favour.
8 votes in favour.
Oh, they're not pro freedom of speech
6
anymore.
opposed.
What happened?
So the mics have been turned off.
The ayes are 68, the noes are 55. The question is agreed.
Yeah, that's justice,
A
supposedly.
point of order, remembering that I haven't yet declared a vote.
It was on that question, though, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
I call that a personal vote be held on that question, which has just been put under Standing Order
If
142.
you read the standing orders, you can't do that until you know what the vote is. It's quite clear. I'll just make this explanation for anyone who's watching. The limitations on a speaker accepting a motion for a personal vote are in our standing orders. Reason to believe that there is a gap between the vote legitimately cast by party whips and the intentions of members. That needs to be signalled by a member. It cannot be called for by other members. Quite clear. Principles of Treaty of Waitangi Bill. The ayes are 68, the noes are 55. The question is agreed. Point of order.
To be clear, the Green Party will allow all of our MPs to vote in line with their conscience and not whip our MPs. So on that note, I call for a personal vote to be held on that question of the Treaty Principles Bill at first reading under Standing Order 142.
No, I'm not accepting that. The time for the Green Party to notify me or the clerk that there was to be a personal vote by its members would have been before the party vote was cast. That is very clear. It's been clear for nearly, how long? Since 1996. So nothing new in that. Call on government orders for the
Principles of the Treaty of Waitangi Bill, first reading.
I call on government orders of the day number 2. So sorry. Yeah, okay. Point of order.
Speaker. I reflect on your naming of one member for grossly disorderly conduct. I wonder if others who participated in the same action might also be
Is he going to be a libertarian?
suitable to name for doing the same thing, in particular getting out of their seats and coming up to the desks of members from the opposite side of the House. As you know, that's been the subject of a matter of privilege. I wonder if your guidance is that it should be raised that way, or if perhaps they too should be named.
No freedom
thank you
speak.
for your question. I would suggest that if you think there has been a matter of privilege breached, then a letter stating that would be the next course of action. It is, in this case, naming is a very serious thing, and I certainly don't do it lightly or with any degree of personal satisfaction whatsoever. but it is the instigator of the disorder that should receive that very, very high penalty. If you think there's more to be done, then write your letter. In the meantime,
Have another donut.
In a
Maybe
bottle.
two, half a dozen.
the question is that the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi Bill be considered by the Justice Committee. Those of that opinion will say aye. The contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote called for.
New Zealand National,
49 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour,
34 votes opposed.
Green Party of Aotearoa New Zealand,
15 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand, New Zealand First,
votes in favour.
Te Pāti Māori,
6 opposed.
The ayes are 68, the noes are 55. Question is agreed. I call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Oh, that was
I mean,
painful.
personally, that should have gone to the Māori Affairs Committee, in my opinion. But, well, anything that should be going there tends to end up at the Justice Committee.
So what do we learn from this? We learned that you can't you can't offend David Seymour's feelings, otherwise you will get your pay docked.
And you want more people's pay to be docked.
Yes.
He's a coward, and he
Yes.
shows himself to be a coward.
Another
I mean,
lesson. Sorry, Fine.
No, I just remember a time at Parliament where he was in the lift and we were going in as he was coming out, and he saw me and ran off. So he's just a little rat, really.
I call him
Sorry,
a
Helmut. Nothing important.
I was going to say another lesson is it's a good idea not to play people's games.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially when they're the ones in charge of the rules. Yeah. Because they just change the rules, make them work for them. But anyway, theatre.
Hey, yo, Liam. The taxpayer pays for the house. So
It's our
technically, it's a marae that's publicly owned.
I think everyone should actually be focused on what Hana said
Yes.
before she invoked the Kamati Haka. She was basically threatening to remove the authority of Parliament to govern. And most people don't seem to realise that she is the voice of the Kingitanga in the House now.
Yeah.
That was a message from the Queen to the King's House.
I would say for what was it called? From Dave X, how much is a pay doc? Asking for a friend. I'm not sure whether it is 1/365th of her annual salary, or one parliamentary day at work, or how MPs' pay dockings work. It would be interesting actually to find out whether it's 1/365th, because a salary is stretched over 365 days, except in a leap year, 366, or is it stretched over working days in Parliament? Well, they work 3 weeks on, 1 week off, take 8 weeks off at Christmas, take 2 weeks off at school holidays. That becomes a very interesting thing. But then during school holidays and recess weeks, they're meant to be working anyway with their constituents.
As far as I understand, the 24-hour period in question was the Friday following the Thursday, which isn't a sitting day.
I have a question. Oh, sorry, Gary. Please finish your thought.
That's all right, carry on.
Okay, I have a question. Isn't haka is permitted, right, in a debate?
Yes.
So why is Hana being docked when she's doing it in a debate when the problem was with the gallery?
It has
No,
to be,
it's not a part of the protocols of the House. Yeah.
Okay, I
has to be
see.
done with the permission of the Speaker.
Yeah.
You can't do it without the speaker's say-so.
No.
Right,
And I,
okay.
have to say, I was in the House when Rawhiti Waititi did a haka in 2021, and it's awesome to have been there for both.
Yeah.
We have a British parliamentary system. Someone's asking why. Because when we were colonised and they set up the empirical government, we came in under the Westminster Rule of Law, which I trained under. So we do have a Westminster Rule of Law. However, 1992, they created Waikato Law School, which I trained under, and it was the first tikanga-based law school where it learnt. Its focus was around New Zealand laws and understanding te tiriti, etc., a lot more thoroughly. But we don't have a tikanga system because that's exactly what we've been asking for since 1840, and they haven't given it to us.
And maybe they could put it into the Legislative Council chamber at Parliament, and we've got the space for it.
Yeah.
You know, it could be our upper house.
Another question here, if they keep mentioning the Crown, how come the King doesn't have a say? Actually, he does through the Governor-General. The Governor-General does have the power to disband the government. However, she can't just do it. So there has to be a significant reason. And the King was also mainly ceremonial, but for the purposes of governing, the Governor-General, because we are still under the Commonwealth and Westminster rule of law, therefore the Governor-General does have some authority, but it's very rarely, if ever, used. And I'm not sure that our GG is actually a very controversial person. She may very well not do anything.
Just going to say, Helmut is going to be making a move. Thank you for joining us tonight. It was great to have your expertise around our metaphorical table.
You're very welcome, and good to meet you all and to share in the, although some of it was a bit tortuous to have to listen to it for the second time, but it was also very positive and inspirational to listen to some of it for the second time. Tuesday, of course, is the big day, whānau. I hope some of you are going to be able to make your way to Puneke and to join us.
Kia ora.
I am the opening speaker on the day at Parliament, and I assure you that I'll be rocking the hell out of the whole thing. Look forward to it. Kia ora, whānau.
It's been a privilege.
Yeah.
It's been an honour, Helmut. Thank you. And Gary as well. Kia ora. Thank you.
And yes, about a Governor-General sacking the government happened in Australia in 1975 with the, what was it called, the Gough Whitlam government.
Yes.
And the Governor-General who sacked them quickly resigned 6 months afterwards. So it caused a bit of controversy. I don't even know if the Governor-General even remained living in Australia because of what happened.
It's an extremely rare move and not one they take lightly.
And in that particular case, the Governor-General didn't actually contact the Queen to ask permission. He just unilaterally did it. And there is a convention with telephone was to actually ring the Queen. And that was something that was not done, but based on that convention, which was based back in the Queen Victoria era, was that there wasn't telephone communication at the time.
No.
Yeah, that's why you had Governor Generals, and that's why we still have them. But thank goodness we at least appoint them internally now, not having them, external appointments, or you get in the rare occasion like the Duke of Gloucester, Prince Henry, be the Governor General of Australia.
Can do.
Yeah.
I personally think that our appointed Governor Generals assume the manner and the gravitas of the role really well, much better than our elected officials.
Oh yes.
They're quiet. They don't speak.
The current Governor General does have quite a bit to do with the community, particularly with the city mission. So Sydney does actually actively help out with the city mission, and when Patsy Reedy was the Governor General, she did the same thing as well. So they do get out in the community. I know at Newtown Festival, it was our first time.
Put it this way, I can't remember a Governor General being anywhere near as embarrassing as our Prime Ministers, or some of our Prime Ministers.
Possibly our closest would have been Sir Michael Hardy-Boy over the females' access to contraception. Might have been the most controversial thing, which won't be laws of my generation. It would be Gary and Huhana's generation, and it was the person who made the speech was former MP Deborah Venn Morris, now Morris Travis, who was the Minister for Youth Affairs at the time. And I only know that because I wasn't Deb's niece.
Hey, getting back to the haka, sorry.
I need to go, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank
All right.
It's all right.
Good
Thank
to see
you,
you
Hannah,
guys.
for coming. Thank
Thank
you.
Yeah,
you.
good to see you. Really good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Gary.